Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome to another session with Creative Bright Studio. Today, we're going to talk about handling images. Yes, sometimes image is an element used in design, and you want to use it in your work. So, we want to learn how we can effectively handle image in our work. All right. So, first of all, let me bring in an image here. So, you go to File, you go to Open to locate where the image can be found. Mine can be found here. Training file, so I double click it to open. So with this one, with this particular view, I see the images or the resource files here. Okay, so for instance, if I click on this picture and I click open, it loads into Photoshop. But yeah, just a classic example I want you to see here. That sometimes when you load a particular image, you find this particular problem. I'm going to help you to address it. All right, so let me look for another image. Open. Okay, a similar one. Let me look for another one. Open. All right, so I have the image. Successfully loading into Photoshop. Yeah, so with this image loaded here, you have the adjustment layer to do all the adjustments you want, talking about the brightness, the colors, or whatever. They're all done here. All right. Okay, so for instance, you have a work and you want to import an image. Okay, there are several ways of doing this. So let me create a new document and then teach you how we can import an image directly into our software. So this is the work. I want to bring in an image. Okay, so first of all, you go to File, you come down here. We have two options here: Place Embedded and Place Linked. Place Embedded means it's going to add it to the work file. All right, so when you say the PSD file, it is going to be part of it. But place linked means it's going to create a link to the image. Okay, so sometimes it eases up the size of the PSD file. But the disadvantage is that if you copy that file to any computer, you should add the image folder to it as well. Else, wherever you send it, it will still be asking you for the image file, which is going to be a problem. So often we encourage people to use the place embedded. So when you click on the place embedded, when you go for the place embedded, this is what happens. You select the file. Let's say I have this image here. You click place, then it drops it into the work for you. All right, so it drops it into the work for you. This one was AI generated. I used the ChatGPT to generate this particular one. So that's the image has been what added to it. So if you want to add another one, can add another one as well. Place embedded. So let me search for, okay, I have let me go to downloads and see. Let me change the view. All right, so look for image. I have, okay, so right, let me bring this one. Place. Good. So you see, place embedded brings it directly into your work. All right, now I want us to observe something here. You see, when you bring in an image, it comes with a unique thumbnail. All right, this thumbnail, we call it acts as a smart object. It's a smart object. When you double click on a smart object, it opens in a different window for you. So here you can make all the changes. Now, one important thing about a smart object is that with a smart object, the changes you apply to it doesn't affect the image directly. Okay, it's kind of a mask. All right, so that if you want to revert back to the old, it is very easy. Okay, but if it's not a smart object and then you make any changes, you lose a lot of information on that particular image. Then when we start working with images, I'm going to explain some of this concept to you. Right, so that is what a smart object. Now there are some do's and don'ts things we do to an image and we don't do to an image. All right, so let's say I want to resize the image, that is make it smaller or bigger. Okay, so let me click on the transform or use Ctrl T to bring the transform around it. Never hold the edge of an image like this and stretch it. You see, the more I stretch this image this way, it distorts the image. All right, it doesn't look what nice. Ctrl Z to undo. Okay, so Ctrl Alt Z to multiple undo. Yes, so anytime you want to move an image, Ctrl T, you have to press the shift or shift alt to hold and drag it. So this one, it resizes it in equal proportions. Okay, it doesn't distort it. Sometimes people use design in their design work, they hold an image and either force it this way and then place it there. It is wrong. Images are not supposed to be handled that way, or they force this way. See, when I don't press any of the control key, like the shift key or the alt key, the image will be moving in any direction. But the moment I press the shift key, it locks it, or alt key, it grows it from the center, okay, without distorting the image. Fine. Sometimes the work can become so much work here that bringing an image directly into it may interfere with what you want to do. So you want to work on it, like in this particular window here, you want to work on it here and then bring it inside. Okay, now look here, the image is locked. So long as it is locked, it's very difficult to drag it. Yes, so this is the message you receive. Could not use the move tool because the layer is locked. So what do? Just come and click on it, then it unlocks it. So the moment it unlocks it, just come, press on the left button and drag gently to the top of the new window where you want to send it. Your finger must still be on the left button and then drag it inside. Okay, so when you drag it inside, you see the image that looks very big here. Yes, when you bring it in your paperwork, this is the actual size. All right, so that is it for the image. So I want you to observe something with regards to the smart image and the rasterized image. I will explain that too. Look at this image. Let me reduce it very small, okay, and then save it. Then let me again expand it. What happens? You can see that there's the quality of the image has reduced simply because of the way I handle it. But with smart object, no matter how I stretch it, it still keeps that quality. All right, it keeps that quality. Okay, so let me undo it. So that is how smart object and then the normal, the rasterized one behaves. Now let's see something here. Let me go for my zoom tool and click on this one, then to zoom in. You see, the more I zoom in, you have what we call the pixels. That is why images are being measured in what? In pixels. This is what we call what? The pixels, the color information for the what? Image. In Photoshop's image worked on here because of the pixels. Okay, so that is why in those cameras you have a low pixels, you see box, but that is the color information. So that means you can literally edit this color and change the characters of your work. All right, let me go for the zoom tool and let me use the negative one to zoom out. So that is the pixel information of this image. So it is very easy to work in this one. All right, now the reason why some work can be easily edited, for instance, when I say easily edited, let me go for the brush tool. Let's see something here. Let me go for the eraser. All right, the eraser, and let me go for this particular eraser and see. Okay, the brush size is too small. Let me increase the brush size. Okay, yeah, so you see how it's cleaning smoothly because I'm cleaning the pixels. Okay, now let me come to this particular one here, and then you see the moment I pick on the smart layer, the smart image, see, it gives me this symbol telling me that I can't do anything on it. Okay, so when I click on it, this says that this smart object must be rasterized before proceeding. Edit content will no longer be available. Rasterize the smart object. Okay, so when I click on it, it is going to change the properties of this image, the one I just rasterized, just one. And then because it is now rasterized, I can now clean it. Okay, so you get a concept between the smart object and the rasterized object. The rasterized image has the pixels, those box you see, those colors in color information. So it's very easy to work around it. And with that one too, you lose the information you have. So it's advisable that sometimes when you have an image, you convert into what a smart object. Now let's see this one, which is what the iris club here, which is a smart object. Because it is smart, when I double click on the icon here, when I double click on the thumbnail here, it opens it for me. And because now it has opened this way, it is easier for me here to, let me go for the result, easier for me to do any changes here. Okay, so I am able to clean the parts that I don't want and then save it. Fine, it is saved. Now let's come to the work and realize that the effect, what I did has taken effect. Because this one is on top, let me move this one up there. So realize that I cleaned some things here and it is gone, but still maintains that crispness, maintain that sharpness. You don't lose information. All right, as I said, when you start working on images, I'm going to explain how we use it effectively in Photoshop. So that is it. We have two kinds of image. We have different types of image, but the popular ones we use are the JPEG and the PNG file format. The JPEG and the PNG file format. Now let me explain that one to us briefly. Now let me open a smart object and see something. When I open it, you realize that this one shows this one is a transparent background. It doesn't have anything, so I can move it around. I can just drag it and bring it into my work. All right, see, the moment I brought it inside, it has lost that smartness and it's now just a rasterized image. So that is it. So the PNG files with the name PNG, like you can see here, what the PNG, they don't have what the background. You may ask, why is this one having? That's how you downloaded it. So that tells us that even on the internet, not all the names given to the files carried exactly as it's supposed to be. Okay, but PNG files have no background, so it's very easy to use them. Example are the logos and all those social media handle stuff. Yeah, they are PNG files, so it is very easy. Sometimes download them and they still have a background. In that case, that means you have to work on it, take away the background before you can use it. So let me load some PNG files here, and that'll be for today's lesson. So I go to file, I go to place embedded, and let me look for social media icons. All right, I have one clip art here. See, the name is what? PNG. So when I load, yes, it drops inside without any background. How do I know it? Let me click Alt I, is gone. You see, there's nothing behind it, so it is very easy to place on the background if you want to. These colors can be changed, okay, and we'll do that later in our lessons. So today we learned about how we can bring in images, how we can move around on our work, and how we can resize them as well. Okay, so thank you very much for your cooperation. I hope to get you the new video very soon. Thank you very much.